Klobuchar. I'm hopeful we will have a second round. I don't know whether Senator Thune is available. If not, Senator Moran or Senator Lee. I will turn to Senator Markey in the absence of a Republican senator wishing to ask questions, and I am going to vote. So you're in charge, Senator Markey.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, very much. And we will recognize Republican members as they arrive. In April, Senator Blumenthal and I wrote to CEO Mark Zuckerberg ringing the alarm about Facebook's plan to launch a version of Instagram for kids 12 and under. I'm pleased that Facebook responded to our concerns and is backing down, at least temporarily, from its plans. But a pause is insufficient. Let's be clear. The problem isn't that Instagram hasn't developed a safe product for kids. The problem is Instagram itself. According to Facebook's own research, teen users consistently blame Instagram for increases in their anxiety and depression. In fact, 32% of teen girls said when they felt bad about their bodies, Instagram made them feel worse. And 6% of American teen users trace their desire to kill themselves to Instagram. For teens, Instagram is worse than a popularity contest in a high school cafeteria because everyone can immediately see who's the most popular or who's the least popular. Instagram is that first childhood cigarette meant to get teens hooked early, exploiting the peer pressure of popularity, and ultimately endangering their health. Facebook is just like big tobacco, pushing a product that they know is harmful to the health of young people, pushing it to them early, all so Facebook can make money. IG stands for Instagram, but it also stands for Instagreed. The last thing we should allow Facebook to do is push young kids to use Instagram. Ms. Davis, will you commit that Facebook will not launch any platforms targeting kids 12 and under that includes features such as like buttons and follower accounts that allow children to quantify popularity? Yes or no?
Senator Markey, I'd like to actually take a second to disagree with your comparison. Our products actually add value and enrich teens' lives. They enable them to connect with their friends, with their family, and actually during COVID,
I appreciate that.
during the pandemic,
I appreciate that. Senators just have limited time in the question and answer period. And I have a question to you. Will you stop launching? Will you promise not to launch a site that includes features such as like buttons and follower accounts that allow children to quantify popularity? That's a yes or a no.
Senator Markey, those are the kinds of features that we will be talking about with our experts, trying to understand, in fact, what is most age appropriate and what isn't age appropriate. And we will discuss those features with them, of course.
Well, let me just say this. We're talking about 12-year-olds. We're talking about 9-year-olds. If you need to do more research on this, you should fire all the people who you're paid to do your research up until now, because this is pretty obvious, and it's pretty obvious to every mother and father in our country, because all recent scientific studies by child development experts found that not getting enough likes on social media significantly reduces adolescents' feelings of self-worth. Here's another threat to young people on Instagram. The app is full of images and videos of popular influencers who peddle products while they flaunt their lavish lifestyles to users. Ms. Davis, will you commit that Facebook will not launch any platforms targeting kids that host influencer marketing, commercial content that children may be incapable of identifying as advertisements? Yes or no?
Senator, that's actually one of the questions that we will be working with our experts as well. I do think it's important to point out that our app, Messenger Kids, for a messaging app for young kids under 13, doesn't show ads at all, and that was based on the feedback that we got from parents and from our experts.
I will just say this: it's not acceptable that you don't have answers for these questions right now. These are the obvious problems that exist. In television, we don't allow the host of a program to hawk a product to a child. It's illegal, you know, and I'm the author of those laws, so I know it's illegal. And the same thing is true here. Why Facebook just can't say flat out, no, we won't allow influencers to be trying to push a child towards buying something because that child has now seen a video. It's just, again, completely and totally unacceptable, because we know that children lack the cognitive ability to decipher whether something is an advertisement, and influencer marketing is inherently manipulative to kids. The same thing was true on television. It's true over here. We have to move the same values from television over to the internet, or else the same exploitative policies will be adopted by marketers. Research also finds that your algorithms send teen users into a spiral of harmful content, including misinformation about COVID and ads for diet pills and appetite suppressants. Ms. Davis, will you commit that Facebook will not launch any platforms targeting children that employ algorithms promoting this dangerous content?
Thank you, Senator Markey. We actually don't allow weight loss ads to be shown to people under the age of 18 already.
Okay, well, then that's reassuring, because that content shouldn't exist anywhere on your platform. Your platforms, however, from my perspective, are actively promoting these materials, and we can't let that happen to kids. So you seem to disagree with whether or not you are doing that, but my research says that you are. So that's also something that I think we should just codify. If Facebook has taught us anything, it's that self-regulation is not an option. We need rules that are federally mandated, that have to be adhered to by companies. And that's why today I am reintroducing the Kids Internet Design and Safety Act, the KIDS Act, partnering with Senator Blumenthal, who I thank for working with me on this bill. Our legislation bans damaging website design features like follower counts, autoplay, and push alerts that are harmful to kids, limits advertising and commercial content like product placement and influencer marketing to kids, and prohibits amplification of harmful and violent content to kids. Ms. Davis, do you agree that Congress needs to pass this legislation and enact these critical safeguards for children online? Yes or no?
Senator Markey, I think our company has made its position really well known, that we believe it's time for the update of internet regulations, and we'd be happy to talk to you and work with you on that.
Okay, well, do you support this legislation?
We'd be happy to follow up, most certainly.
Well, your company has had this legislation in your possession for months, and you're testifying here today before the committee that would have to pass this legislation. And again, I just feel that, you know, delay and obfuscation is the legislative strategy of Facebook, especially since Facebook has spent millions of dollars on a marketing campaign calling on Congress to pass internet regulations. And Facebook purports to be committed to children's well-being, so it's simply wrong that you will not support this legislation to enact protections on kids, for kids online. That's the only conclusion I can reach, since you've had it in preparation for this hearing for a long period of time. So we know that Facebook's top priority is its bottom line. Congress has to step in. We have an obligation to enact a bold agenda for young people online. And that means passing the KIDS Act to take on big tech's damaging and coercive tactics to hook kids. 2, updating the Child Online Privacy Protection Act to finally give young people up to the age of 16 a privacy bill of rights for the 21st century. And passing my Camera Act to launch a major research project at the National Institutes of Health on the effects of tech on children. It's time for us to do this. We cannot wait. This is a crisis, and we must act. Let me now turn and recognize Senator Thune.